We had to start the podcast again because, for once, I was having technical issues. Normally it's Judd with his stupid Neanderthal brain, but for once it was me.
Me do the podcast good.
You need to move your mic closer, Judd.
Move mic closer. Make voice better.
Oh dear. Oh boy, have we got some things today.
Yeah. Listen.
None of which are interesting. Don't click away yet, though. You know, you owe us your listen now. You've clicked on this podcast. You have to listen to the entire thing.
I've got
That's how
one
this works.
interesting thing. I've got one interesting thing.
And
So-
yeah, but by normal standards, that means it's not
this is by
interesting.
no, this is by normal standards. So I've got two of you that aren't that interesting. So I've been
What a way to tease a podcast!
yeah. can't leave with the-
2/3 of this is going to be bad.
I'm not gonna start with the good bit because then they're gonna listen to the good bit and then my light fell over. I can't start with the good bit because then they'll click away. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
dear.
tease them.
Okay, go on.
You know I'm right.
Tease me, Jude.
So
What?
I don't even want to tease you. I just want to get to the funny one.
Just fucking get on with it then.
So,
We've been talking about what we're going to talk about. Not even saying it. Just saying how bad what we're going to talk about is for almost 2 minutes now.
I basically, so this morning on my way to work, I basically assaulted a mother and her daughter.
Oh, fucking hell.
And what happened was, I was walking
That's not a
down.
legal admission.
Well, I was walking to be picked up for work, and the guy who was picking me up today, he usually drives like a couple different cars, not at the same time. That would be very awkward, but
Do you know what I imagined then? I imagined he's like massive and he uses them as roller skates.
yeah, so like he has a couple different cars, and I weren't really sure which should be picking me up in. So anyway, I'm walking down, and I see this car pulling up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of his cars. So you know, he's here. And then it started pulling up next to me. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's here for me. So I start crossing the street, and I'm looking through this window, and this person's looking back at me. I'm like, yeah, that's it, that's him. Is it him? So I'm looking straight into this. I'm basically peering inside this window, and this person's looking at me really confused. So I walk around to the other passenger seat and go to like open the door.
Yeah.
And like the window light winds down, and it's this woman. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I look at her, and I look in the back seat, and she's got a little girl like in the fucking poster seat, and she's looking at me real scared. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were my friend here to pick me up for work. I'm really sorry. You must have thought I was mugging you." She was like, "I did."
Wait, no, did you say to her, oh, you must have thought I was mugging you?
Yeah, I said you must have thought.
At that moment, Judd, you don't mention mugging when you're like cornered these women. You don't like, oh, you must have thought I was gonna murder you with this knife that I've got.
She found it really funny. But yeah, I just fucking peer because I'm just imagining like the little girl's point of view because the windows were like sort of tinted. I'm just imagining this little girl seeing me poking my head in this window.
Why did you put your head through? Why would you go that far? Like you see the woman, and that's not proof enough that it's not your mate. You have to look in the back as well.
I didn't properly see her because like one, it's like quite early in the morning, so it's like dark, and also I'm really tired, like I'm still half asleep. And it was like his car, so I was like, oh, this has got to be him, and it just happened to pull up right next to me. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is him. But yeah, I ended up peering through this window, staring at this woman.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
What else you got for me, Judd? Is that the interesting one? That's the interesting one, am I right?
One, yeah.
So what's the not interesting stuff?
Well, the one of the not interesting ones is that I've started on a diet. I started on a diet on Monday.
Ooh.
And
Okay. Forgive me if I laugh, but well, actually, I think that's it. Do you remember the last time you did a diet, Judd?
No.
I do. Because I was in charge of it, essentially.
Oh yeah, it was that one that me and you did together, weren't it?
Yeah, years ago. This must have been fucking... God, this would have been half a decade ago.
I was at college, I think.
Yeah, and we were going to the gym together, weren't we? Because it were really cheap if you were under a certain age. It were only like, what, £4 a month or something, weren't it? It was something stupid like... And we'd go and we'd do same exercises, you know, just take it in turns doing exercise. One person does it, other person rests while other person does it. And we'd normally get a Subway salad after and all sorts. And I carried on doing that a bit longer than you and got like the fittest I've ever been after that. But you dropped so much weight as well. Do you remember how much fat you lost?
I lost a lot of weight.
You like halved yourself. It was insane.
So I was like, I got to a point where I was like, right, I'm tired of being fat now. I'm gonna do that again. So I started doing that again. And
Can you get close to the mic? Sorry.
I'm not like, you know, doing like an incredible, really strict diet, but I am doing a lot better than a lot better than I was before. Like. It was, especially, I got to be honest, because, you know, my nan likes cooking for me. She likes fattening me up. So she'd be like, right, when we get home, we're having lasagna and you're going to have chips, or shepherd's pie and chips, or pizza and chips. It's like, you know, shit like that every day when I get home.
Yeah,
and
nothing
also,
green.
And also I'd be snacking all the time as well, constantly snacking. So.
Well, the worst one that I've seen with you, Judd, is having beer every night.
And beer every night. So anyway, I've stopped with the snacking all the time. I'm not snacking all the time. When I get home, it's more stuff like rice and chicken, or like a bit of pasta, stuff like that. I had a jacket tatty earlier. You know, just it's not.
I'm still not
like,
hearing anything green, Judd.
I had green stuff for it. So I'll have like broccoli or cauliflower. I'm taking a salad tomorrow because I'll have lettuce.
Yeah.
So I'm
hold on. There's someone down. My McDonald's order's just come from downstairs. Let me just go grab that. Oh, I'm joking. That's a good joke.
Yeah. So I am being a lot better. It's not I'm not being like super strict with my diet. I'm not being like, right, you have to have this and you can only have this. But I know for a fact I'm being a lot better and a lot healthier than
I suppose with you don't have to exercise either, really, for your job.
Well, I am doing. I've signed up at the gym. I've started paying my monthly fee, and I start tomorrow. The only reason I'm starting tomorrow and I've not done it earlier in the week is because I've just not taken an outfit with me into work, because I would be doing it straight after work. And also I was thinking, I'll do it today, but then I was like, I got podcast today, so I can't do it today. So it's gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I've just thought though, you know that the lockdown rules have like just increased in our country.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
Literally, like they're shutting gyms again, and you just bought.
Well, if that's the case, I'll go and they're like, no, you can't do it. I was like, okay, well, I'm cancelling my membership then. You know, and
that's infamously not as easy as it sounds.
I don't give a fuck. I'll stand there with a dust mask on my face for 3 hours just signing out forms. I don't give a shit. But if that's the case, I'll just go running or something if I can't get to the gym. But it's what it's gonna be is if I've had a day at work where it's mainly like cleaning up and scraping and shit like that, then I'll go to the gym after work. That's absolutely fine. I don't have to have like a set days of doing it. I'll just go to the gym after work. But if I've had a day where I'm walking like 30-kilo boards up flights of stairs and I've been moving like tons of heavy shit and I'm just fucked, then I simply won't go to the gym that day. So,
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, I've learnt this week that it doesn't matter what the fuck I say, no one's ever going to listen to me, no matter how right I am. So I'm giving up on humanity and just going to live in a painful existence. But what I will say is normally most people find a routine a lot easier to stick to. So obviously if you've not got a routine, you might find that a lot harder, really. But it's like, I don't know, it's like when it becomes a habit, that's when things properly change for you. And same with food in a way, like if you can like get used to sort of just keeping account of how many calories you've got, and with apps on your phone and stuff, it's really easy. So like the routines, like it can help a lot. I know it helps a lot with me, but I don't know. I don't give a shit what you do. So, that's kind of.
I suppose I'm not counting calories as such. Just more like it's like I fancy like having a bit of a snack. I'll have, instead of like, crisps, fucking, no chocolates. I'll be like, I'll have an apple, or I'll have like a bit of a Belvita's biscuit thing.
Do you know what's weirdly depressing? Neither of those are actually that healthy, really.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be stressing over. I'm not gonna be looking online. What's the healthiest thing? I'm just gonna eat healthier than what I were doing. And it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I mean like by a lot. I mean, if I felt like I wanted a snack and it was break time at work, I'd go up to McDonald's, and that'd be my snack at work. It would be would be like
a Big Mac
burger. Yeah, like a Big Mac would be my snack.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get...
Because you can't have a Big Mac on its own, you have to have chips.
You're not going to get obese... But the thing is, you wouldn't get obese from that, because you have got fairly decent genetics. Like, we've got similar stuff, so I know, but... And then, like, looking at both your parents, pretty good genetics for, like, staying fit, but... Yeah. Also, your job burns a lot of calories, so doing that, you probably would just stay the same. So even if you eat mediocre and not terrible like you have been, you'll probably lose some weight. You'll not get to you'll still have a bit of a belly, but you'll probably you'll probably look a bit skinnier than I am right now. Is what'll happen.
Well, if I just cut down a lot on that shit, and I start working out like, a fair amount. I could even become a bit, a bit attractive to the ladies, Jake.
Don't get your hopes up, Jody.
Let me just pick up this drink. Oh,
do you know what you would be like? You'd look like Jeff. You'd look like our dad's mate, Jeff. You know what I mean.
Because he's quite fat. He's quite fat, Jeff. Sorry. But he's quite fat,
yeah,
Jeff.
But eventually you're gonna look like Jeff, because Jeff's not he's not like got no muscle underneath him.
Oh, listen, Jeff gets some right fucking pussy, so
the thing is, he really doesn't. Jeff is the creepy. Jeff is the guy that girls avoid on a night out. That's who he is. Some right pussy,
yeah. I'll make her have it.
He's the one that really creeps people out in the dance club. Oh God. You're gonna look like him eventually. It's gonna be great. And I'm not. I'm not safe from that. I would say, so will I. I think we're both gonna end up looking like big old Jeffs. Two Jeffs. That sounds like a great sitcom. That does. But yeah, I think what's good for you is that you do a lot of lifting at work. Obviously, and it's not just certain muscles. Like obviously, there'll be your back, your arms, your legs. You'll have to use all of them, really. Yeah, so the key thing for you really is cardio and just doing a lot of that to get your lungs better and to get to drop some fat and. Don't smoke ever, because just one cigarette. Oh no, your 10 years of cardio's gone, all of it. Just one cigarette. That sounds like he's fucking exaggerating. Not really. It's that bad. So it's like, but so that seems really that's the only exercise you need. And thinking about it, you don't even need a gym for that. So that's kind of a waste of money. But it's.
I've got breaking news for you. I've got like a breaking news. This has just popped up on my Facebook.
Oh, what?
So Sam, Sam, has been working as a social worker. So he works with basically. I don't know, because that's his job. He says he likes doing stuff like social work care, like being a nurse.
And he's good at that, is he?
Yeah, why not? So he's been at work, and I think he's at a care home or something.
For the people who are listening, if you want to know who Sam is, he's been on a previous version of the podcast where Judd invited a guest on. I think it's called Judd's Weird Mate is Bad, or Judd's Weird Friend is Bad, something like that. Anyway,
so he's just messaged me messaged this group that I'm in, that he's been working in this care home. He's been sat down in his chair. And this lad has walked right up to him, stared at him, and then just sneezed in his face. Just like sneezed right in his face, and then he stood there and he stood there and he screamed and he's gone no like that, and then punched the wall.
Oh,
So,
is he legally allowed to tell you that?
no, I don't know, but this is like I was thinking about this. I can never do this job at all.
No,
Like,
I couldn't.
It freaks me out, but Sam's all right with it. Apparently, he works him. You know, he gets them sorted out. But just that whole situation there, I just have to go right. I'm
In
off
today's
home,
world, there's
sorry.
so many more complications than that as well, though. You shouldn't like see him for 2 weeks now. Someone sneezed in his fucking face. Who knows whether they've got that virus or not? It's like government doesn't let him get a test unless he shows symptoms. So if Sam starts showing symptoms, he fucking needs a test. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. And so it's just so complicated and ridiculous. And the fact that Sam's not allowed to get a test until he starts showing symptoms, and he also doesn't have to isolate. So he could have it now until he starts showing symptoms for it. He could be spreading it around in a care home, by the way. So the guidelines just don't make any sense.
I suppose the guy who just sneezed on his face would be spreading it around before, but you know,
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
you know. So it shouldn't be the. I honestly think the guidelines in our country is so stupid. Every single week something happens to do with our country that makes me like, fuck, if I can move, I'm gonna. So it's just awful, this place. It's bad. They're handling it very bad. It's not awful. It's not the worst, but it is bad, and it's going downhill very, very quickly. Way more quickly than I would have ever expected. Like, within a year. Normally these things take at least like 5 to 10. But yeah. Speaking of corona and isolation and stuff, Judd, I am now confined to 3 rooms for 2 weeks.
Brilliant. Do you have it? Do you actually have it?
No, but well, I don't know. I don't know.
Have you not got the results back?
Really, I should be able to get a test, but I'm not allowed. You know, I might have snogged someone who definitely 100% does have it because she is tested positive, but I'm not allowed to know whether I've got it or not.
Wait. So your girlfriend's been tested positive?
Yeah, that is correct.
Brilliant.
And she's currently isolating as well, and she should be isolating. Who knows whether this will happen or not till next Tuesday. I don't know when this gets released, because I don't know whether that'll happen or not, because the results the guidelines are so confusing that no one knows what to do to adhere to the government. So what I say is, you know, actually think about it for yourself and think about it properly and do what's best. But no one can fucking do that. So I don't know when anything's happening. And that's why also I'm locked to 3 rooms. There's more than 3 rooms in my house, but I'm only allowed in those ones. Another decision I didn't make. But it's all a bit fucked. And I'm already starting to go insane, and I've only just done like 1 full day.
Oh.
It's crazy. Like, I've got my own bathroom technically at the minute because, you know, I don't know, my family thinks that I'm the only one to be concerned about, and they can kind of just like isolate for not very long. That don't make any sense either, but they're trying to like extra isolate me away from them. So we've kind of halved the house. I've got my room. There's a room next door to me where that I use as my office. So I that's where I am most of the day doing work and that. And then the bathroom that's closest to me, it's the big bathroom. Those are the 3 rooms I'm allowed in. But every other room in the house I'm not allowed in. So I can't go in the kitchen. So if I want food, I can't just get it, or I can't do anything like that. I have to hope that some food gets presented at my door.
Sometimes there is food, sometimes there is not.
Yeah, I literally just have to wait and hope that it gets presented. I have no choice as to what it is or anything like that.
God, you can just ring your mum up and say, "Oh, I feel like a bit of pasta tonight." Surely you could do that.
Well, I guess I could, but it's not really up to me because I'm not making it, so it's up to her really. If she's like, well, I'm doing I don't know, risotto for the rest of the family, or like, you know, I'm doing rice or something for the rest of the family, so I don't want to make 2 meals, so that's what you're having, or you're having nothing. It's kind of like that. So yeah, it's not awful. It's just like kind of funny. The worst bit is like I'm not allowed outside either. Like I'm not allowed outside for a walk. I, it's laughably bad, honestly.
I think you should proper embrace it. You know, I think you should start watching that anime, put on a load of weight, become, you know.
This is the thing. I'm not going to put on a load of weight because, like, I barely get given any food, and I like you, I can't snack. Like, I've got no access to the kitchen. The only thing I can drink is water. Like, I can access the tap in the bathroom. So, like, most health-wise, you know, food-wise, it's going well. I can't really do any exercise. I guess I can do push-ups and sit-ups on the floor if I want, but then I'll get all sweaty and kind of gross. But I've not shaved in a while. And my terrible mustache and beard is sprouting again, and my hair's getting too long, and I've not even done it. And sometimes I have to go on video calls for work, and I just don't even care. I just have like hair all over the place, massive scruff face, sound like I'm...
You've just got loads of hair, you've got a big bushy beard. It's like,
no, it's not like that. It's more like a pedo stash.
It's been one day, what happened? You're like... the room now, one person now.
Well, the thing is, I've not shaved in about 2 weeks. Well, it's not 2 weeks. It's more like 1 week, really. It's only I've not shaved in a week. Well, just over a week anyway. Because normally I shave before I see my girlfriend, and the thing is, we found out about everyone in her office essentially being tested. Well, there were we found out about 2 positive cases in her office. And at that point, I was like, well, I can't come into contact you really then. It'd be irresponsible if I, like, you know, mingled with her at that point. And especially after she, you know, tested positive, I couldn't. But, so it meant that I'd not shaved in a little bit. It was at the point where I could probably do with a shave, like, right before I was planning to see her. That's normally how it works out. But then it was like, oh, well, I can't see her now. I guess I'm not going to shave. Like, I just, like, there's no point, really. And then, you know, I knew I wouldn't be able to see her for... Well, I can't see her until at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days from now. So there's another 10 days at least gonna happen, because, like, I just don't see any point. And the thing is, even, like, if I'd seen her from a distance, I was wearing a mask anyway. It was covering it all up. So yeah, I'm all scraggly. My hair looks gross. I've worn the same 3 jumpers, 2 jumpers actually. Sorry, it's even driving me that insane. And yeah, that's it.
Dude,
it's the first. It's like the second day of it today, and it sucks. It sucks already. I've got, like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no work to do in the day, I kind of just sit and watch stuff, maybe watch Twitch. Like, if I get all my work done quick, or if, like, you know, people aren't having a lot of problems that day, I might do stuff like that. But then work finishes, and I'm like, right, work's done. What shall I do? I guess I'll watch stuff and watch Twitch and that. That's kind of...
Yeah.
There's no difference. So literally, I'm kind of just sat or laid in at the bed, just ticking things over, just waiting. Facial hair growing, but not really, kind of deal. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. That's kind of it.
It's yeah.
Supposedly you have to contact, you know, anyone you've been in contact with. You have to let them know. Obviously, technically, I don't have to let anyone know because I'm not the one who's tested positive. It's my girlfriend who has. Yeah. But I'm not showing any symptoms at all, so I'm not allowed to test.
Which that's ridiculous. There should be a clause in it saying, you know, if the person who is showing symptoms or has been tested positive is, you know, a partner or a lover or a, you know, whatever, you are also allowed a test because, you know, you're in close physical contact with that person. So
it is quite crazy. Like, surely you would be able to curb the spread of it a lot more if you were like, I've definitely come into physical touch contact.
I have actually come in this person. I have come inside the.
No. If I have touched this person's, like, if you can say, for certain, I've touched this person's skin, then that should be enough, I think. Never mind just even being like close to them, or even like if you've like kissed someone who's then definitely tested positive, but you're not showing any symptoms, you're not allowed to get a test. And I kind of understand why, because obviously they're trying to get the test to people who really need them, and they've only got so many, and it's it's a lot of workload and costs a lot more money. But I don't know. I think they can move the boundary at least a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but the thing is as well, if I was allowed to get tested, I would have been able to order a test on Monday. It would have come today, and I would have probably had the results by the end of the week, by Friday. That's the similar sort of time frame that Jasmine had. So thing is, I would be free, like, and if it came back negative, I would be free like a week earlier. But instead, I've got to wait an entire another week on top of that, just not even knowing if when I do go out, I might still be spreading something. It's all just fucked, and I'm kind of, I don't know what the worst part of the of the sort of isolation is going to be, because it's been it's Wednesday, not Tuesday. It's the third day isolating. See? It's like, I don't even know what's going on. All the days are the same. It's been it's like the start of it. And in a way, that could be like the worst bit, in that, like, I'm dreading the rest of the time in isolation, because I'm thinking, fucking hell, oh my God, I've got to do 2 weeks living like this. The middle bit, I don't know, but like, I suppose the end bit would probably be the best and the worst, because, like, obviously you've been in isolation for the longest, but you can kind of be like looking forward to being free. I don't know. I'll keep you updated next week with an extra week's worth of isolation. I've not even really come into contact with the people in my house. It's like, I get handed I don't even get handed. Some food gets put down on the floor, like, of my room, near the door. Then they close the door, and then I go and get the food. It's like feeding a dog. That's the most interaction I get, because I can message them if there's anything important, but like, what do I message them? What am I doing that they're interested in? I'm sat here. I'm still sat here. I don't know. It's a bit fucked. But it has given me plenty of time to play video games. And as I've been saying for like weeks now, I've been playing through Assassin's Creed games. And guess what, Judd?
Go on, what?
Assassin's Creed 4 is the one I'm on at the minute. Your favourite one, I think.
What is it, Brotherhood?
No, Black Flag.
Oh, Black Flag, yeah, cool, yeah. I don't know why I said Brotherhood. Yeah, Black
Flag.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a game that is not very optimised for PC, let me tell you that for a start. I have to have all the graphics on lowest to get 60 FPS.
God. And
the thing is, the latest Assassin's Creed, I can have on Ultra and get 60 FPS constantly.
Weird.
So it's just because, like, it's during that time where they were trying to pump out a lot of games every year, and it meant that they couldn't optimize them very well. And the culmination of that was Assassin's Creed Unity. Was like, it just didn't even work. Like, straight up, didn't work on PC. And like, I bought it, got on phone with support, trying to sort it out and make it work, and literally they just said, "Oh yeah, it doesn't work." That's all they could tell me. The Assassin's Creed Unity just doesn't work on PC. But the other thing about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it is not as good as we remembered. It's not bad, but like, God, there's a lot of follow this person missions on that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot across the franchise, and I think they kind of get, razzed on a little bit for having a lot of those missions. But Jesus, Black Flag is the worst for it. It's
it?
the there's so many more, and the thing is as well. The thing I don't like about it is I know it's pirate game, but there's so much focus on the ships. I'm not a fan of the naval combat in Assassin's Creed, and it obviously came in first on Assassin's Creed 3, but they properly drove it up for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the naval combat.
yeah, if you like it, you like it, but thing is, it's not the main part of the game. It's not. That's not what the game is. And so to put so much sort of, I don't know, emphasis on it, it I don't know. It gets annoying and it's quite repetitive how the missions work, and you have to do it to progress in the story. If it was something that you didn't have to do for like to progress in the story, I wouldn't care at all. But you really have to put quite a lot of hours into sort of searching for ships, gathering materials, upgrading your ship, just so it's good enough to get through a naval-based story mission.
Yeah.
And I don't like that so much. And
I think they should force you into it so much, but I mean, I did all that stuff anyway because I really like the naval stuff, so...
yeah, and these are things that I didn't register as being not great things when I've like the first few times I've played it, because I've played it through it at least twice. But this time round, I'm just noticing that it's not as good as I remembered. It's still good, but I would go as far as saying, so far during this playthrough, my favourite one's been Assassin's Creed 3, which again, it's kind of flip flopped around with.
That's weird. Isn't that the Civil War one?
Yeah. It's kind of flip-flopped in my opinions between Black Flag and that one. I liked that one quite a bit. And Black Flag, I was like, it's good, but it's not, one of my top ones. I liked the story of, the story and sort of the emotion behind Assassin's Creed 3 was a bit more, I would say, than Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I don't know, the story's a bit more compelling, I feel. And all that, and I think Assassin's Creed Black Flag's the first one without that Desmond storyline, which I really liked as well, even though it kind of got weird towards the end. But yeah, I don't know. Assassin's Creed 3, better than you remember. Black Flag, bit worse than you remember. It would be my assessment. The rest of them, up to that point, just as good as you remember.
Yeah.
Although I mean, Assassin's Creed, I think it's called Liberation, the one where you play as the New Orleans sort of, black woman.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That one's actually pretty decent. It's all right.
Was it? It was Freedom Cry where you play as the black guy who was in 4 for a little bit. Was he your first mate? Yeah. Yeah, he's called Adewale, I think. Yeah.
And that one is next, I believe, on my list. I don't know. Freedom Cry and Liberation are they're almost like half games. They're not like. I wouldn't say they're spin-offs, because they're not big enough for that either, and they're too closely related.
It must be because it's about black
No.
people. We don't get for legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. My opinion, anyway.
Yeah, they're not spin-offs, but they're not full games. They're not like those different side-scroller games or anything like that either. They're very much the same, but just not quite as fleshed out.
Yeah.
They're just like half games in a way. Don't say anything to do with Half-Cast. I know it was forming in your brain.
That was all you, though.
But yeah, they're pretty good. I think Liberation is better than Freedom Cry, from what I remember. But I've not got to Freedom Cry yet. I actually had to buy Assassin's Creed Black Flag, weirdly. I had to buy it.
Okay.
Oh. Because I think I had it on PS4. Well, actually, I don't know. I definitely had it on PC at one point, and then I think I got it on PS4 and played it on PS4. But then I had a different account or something that I got it on PC, and yeah, I don't know. I had to buy it again, but I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed Rogue, where you play as a Templar, because I've found out that the older I get, the more I agree with the Templars. It doesn't work what they're saying, because they think that the people who know best should be in control, but it doesn't work because they don't actually know best and they get corrupted by power, so it doesn't really work. But I know the Assassin's way doesn't work at all. What I will say is Templars definitely closer to being right in their ideology than the Assassins. This is kind of a bit of a dodgy thing to say, isn't it? But whatever. Oh, have you got anything else for me, Judd?
I've been playing. The only thing is, I've been playing like some Hearthstone, and I've been getting like, or doing all right with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a different ranking system than it was before, because before it was just like, the lowest
I
rank
think you
was
said this last
20.
time.
Yeah, I went into a little bit because I was just starting off, but the ranking system before is that you started at rank 20, and then you had to get, then it went down, and then the highest one you could be was legend, which was just after rank 1. Now it's, you have to do like 25 ranks before you're in the actual ranking system, which is really weird, but
That is weird.
it's just like almost like a placement thing. But you're not, it's not a placement thing because you always start at bronze 10. So I don't know why there's like that
Weird.
25 ranks leading up to it going, oh, now you're in the rank system. That before was just us playing about. So, but
I do think that's something that Apex got very right. Their ranked system's really good. I'll not get into it, but I've been getting a bit. I've been playing Apex a bit again, just kind of casually, and fucking hell, I enjoy it so much more when I'm not like trying to get anywhere. It's like when I'm not trying to say, oh, I really want to get to diamond rank, or oh, I would really like to try and get to master rank this season, and then I can just like casually play. when I've not got an objective or something, and I just don't really care about whether I go down in the ranked ladder, it's much more enjoyable because you don't even notice when you lose points, but you do get happy when you get a lot of points. That might be because I'm in like one of the lowest ranks at the minute because I've not played in months, so obviously I've got demoted so far. But I don't know. It's still shit though. Online multiplayer is still bad. I still get pissed off at it. But as soon as I'm like, oh, this is pissing me off, these teammates and that, I'm like, I don't want to play. I'm not gonna. Because I kind of can. Because I'm not trying to achieve anything, so I just go, I don't want to play this anymore. And I normally go and play Assassin's Creed after that. So.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, Jake, I've gotten to gold 10 in about 4 days.
Oh, I thought you were on about Apex then. I was like, there isn't a gold 10, and I don't know what that means for Hearthstone either. So.
Well, so it means it's like you start at bronze 10 and then you have to do, like 9, 8, 7. So I've managed to do that through bronze and silver, and now I've just gotten to gold. So it's going okay.
How long does a ranked season last for Hearthstone?
I think, honestly,
the threshold on your mic's a bit high as well, Judd. Not the volume, just the Discord threshold.
High.
It's not coming through sometimes.
Okay, I'll sort that out.
You can do it.
I don't know. I think they base it off. They base it off like Chinese years.
Chinese years.
Yeah, like Hearthstone.
Is a Chinese year a full year?
I think it is, because I think right now it's the.
Alexa, how long does one Chinese year last?
Probably a year. I should have mentioned.
Here's something I found on reference.com. The festivities celebrating the Chinese New Year marks the beginning of the Chinese calendar and last for 15 days.
Oh, okay.
No, that's. I think that's like a holiday.
I don't know. I don't know if that's right or not. I know for Apex, it's annoying with Apex because it used to be 3 months, and then they split it in 2. So there's 2 ranked splits per season. I don't get that. I don't think that should be how it works. I think it should, because they've got 2 maps. They have like one half of ranked on one map and one half. They should swap the map over halfway through the season, but keep the rank. I find it kind of annoying that it's a lot more pressure to have to get it in such a short amount of time. If you're good enough to do it and don't have the time to do it.
I think it's a month. I think it's a month. What they do is with the rotation of what cards are available in ranked mode changes every Chinese New Year. So
yeah, right.
The old basically goes into you can't use that anymore, and now you can only use like the previous 5 installments. So
right, okay. Yeah, I wish there was more to talk about, but like nothing's happening, and especially nothing's happening because I'm stuck inside.
I'll just have to go like assault more women in the cars. I'll just have to do that more.
I did go to IKEA recently, and IKEA is having a lot of trouble, and I think it's because everyone wants to do DIY at the minute,
Yeah.
and they have they have done all of lockdown, but I had to build this fucking cabinet from IKEA, and it was annoying. What I don't like about IKEA is they kind of, it's a good thing but a bad thing as well, because they like you kind of can mix and match stuff. So if you want a certain like top for your desk, you can get that, and you can get some like cheap legs or some fancy legs or anything like that. So for this cabinet, the option on it, you bought just the cabinet set, but you chose which handles you want. And the thing is, there's no like halfway drilled or pre-drilled holes in the back of the cabinet doors so that you can like, I don't know, drill your holes effectively to make them straight. So you have to just drill your own holes for these cabinet handles. And fucking hell, I don't know what these like if you like put things on like an IKEA thing, like IKEA things are kind of known for not particularly being particularly strong or lasting forever.
Yeah.
But when for some reason when I tried to drill the doors of this cabinet, they were like made of fucking steel or something all of a sudden. It just wouldn't go through them, so like it kept like veering off, and it were all a bit wonky when I attached these handles. And it's fine, it's built. It was like I got to a proper like grumpy middle-aged man state of I'm just gonna get it over with. I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be fine. It'll be close enough. and it was, and I was like, right, it's built now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's that. What else, Judd?
Cool, dude.
Is that it? Is that all we've got? Are we that boring?
Yeah, well, that boring. I don't know. We managed that. What is that? That's 50 minutes.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's just over 40.
No. No, it's not. It's 50.
Are you not going to shave your head again, Judd? Why aren't you being bald?
I'm watching Gotham again.
Again? Why are you doing that?
Because I got to like halfway through season 3, I think it was, and I just stopped. I think it was mainly because I was watching at my dad's, and I just sort of stopped going to my dad's. So it were, I just stopped, and me and my nan have been thinking, what can we start watching together? And I said, do you want to try Gotham? And she said, yeah. And she's hooked on it. She's fucking obsessed with Gotham now.
Right, I did not peg your sweet old lady Nanan for liking Gotham.
She loves shit like that, dude. She loves like horrors, and she loves like ghost stories, anything like that. Anything.
You've still not done your homework and watched The Boys yet, Judd.
I've not, because I've not got Amazon Prime.
Judd, look, listen to me right now. Amazon Prime is good value. Jeff Bezos sponsored me to say this. Everyone go download Amazon Prime. That's
I
my work.
I might actually be able to nick my auntie's.
No, but it is quite worth it, Amazon Prime, I would say. But I'm sure there's somewhere else you might be able to find it, whether that's legit or not. If you catch my cold, if you catch my COVID.
If you sneeze on my face.
Yeah, so. But it's good. The Boys. I don't know. I watched the first season, got very hooked, was very good. Watched it within like 4 days, 3 days probably actually. There's only 8 episodes. Maybe even 2 days it was. But do you remember me telling you? I started trying to watch the first few episodes of the new season, and I just couldn't do it.
You weren't into it, or?
I think I said last time that a big part of it is, when like the full length of the show hasn't come out yet. When there's new seasons that are going to come out, even if they drop the full season at once, it's hard to jump back in because it takes them like a year, doesn't it, to release the next one, and then it's like, oh, I don't really fully remember what happened, and then to remember everything that happened, you have to go back and watch an entire season, and it's just like, I don't want to do that every time a new season comes out. And just on principle, I don't want to do it even just once. But I think that half of it might also be to do with the fact that I try and like play games or whatever while watching stuff, because it almost feels like I'm maximizing my leisure time then. And it's not a show you can do that with very much. It's not like Mr. Robot levels where you have to be paying full attention, and like if you glance away for half a second, you're not going to understand the next season. But it's, you know, it's one where you can't just half listen to it. It's not like something like Impractical Jokers or something, you know, it's kind of really casual, or like Big Bang Theory. These are really casual things to watch. It's not like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know when you watch stuff, you tend to sit down and watch it, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. If it's, you know, something I'm into, I'll sit down and I'll pay attention. I'll watch it.
Yeah. How you know, when you're watching something, I guess Gotham's a show to watch like that. How many episodes will you normally like watch? Will you just like watch one a night, or do you watch
I'll watch one or two. I'll watch one
One
or
or
two
two?
a night. Yeah.
right? And because they're an hour long, aren't they?
The Gotham, they're like, I don't know. I think they're about half an hour each. something
Oh.
like that. Gotham.
Oh,
But
right.
there's a lot of them. Like, I was surprised how many there are of Gotham. I think there's 5 seasons of Gotham, and there's probably about 22 or 23 episodes per season. So
So
there's a lot.
would you, if stuff was an hour long, like Breaking Bad, for example, if you were watching that with your nan and that, would you watch only one episode of that, or might you watch a couple of that?
No, well, see, Breaking Bad, a show has never got me like Breaking Bad. So with Breaking Bad, when I watched that, I was watching an entire season every night.
That's not what I mean though. So well, even like The Boys then, if you were watching, or like Umbrella Academy. You know when you watched that, did you watch that with your nana, or did you just?
I watched Umbrella Academy with my nan. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so
we
they're an hour long, aren't they?
yeah. I think actually we might have watched like 2 or 3 a night of Umbrella Academy.
Right. Okay. So it don't really matter how long they are. It's just
Yeah,
kind of
it's
watch a
just
few.
if we get in the swing of it, if we're like, yeah, we're you know, we're into this, we want to see what happens next, then we'll keep watching them. If
Mm.
not, if we're just like, oh, we'll just bang on an episode, then we will just watch like an episode.
Yeah, because I find it hard. I wanted to I got an urge to watch The Joker last night. And I think it's
Yeah.
because I felt all secluded and scruffy, and I was like, this is gonna be fun. I can just pretend I'm being like this Joker guy. That'll be fun. And
That.
I couldn't watch it all the way through. I have to split it up into two halves. Like I watched one half of it, and I played some games for a bit, had a bath, and put it on while I was in the bath, and then finished off watching the rest of it. And I don't know, I find that a lot with movies nowadays. If I'm watching them on my own, I can't pay attention to the same thing for like over an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's just because of your ADHD riddled pig brain, and that's not. I'm not being nasty. That is the reason. You have an ADHD riddled pig brain, so you're gonna find it hard to
Yeah.
do something like that.
Yeah,
So-
I know. It's weird though, because it depends what like the scenario is. If I'm in the cinema, it's fine, or at least it's more fine. And if I'm watching with someone else, like depending on what we're doing, then that's fine as well. But it's when I go to watch something on my own, I'm just kind of like bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I get so that's why I fuck up in Apex, because I'm not patient enough. I just want to
Yeah.
just run in and go pew pew pew. But I don't think that's the case. I don't
A lot
know.
of people seem to get annoyed with that, with people just running in and shooting stuff. So maybe you are part of the problem.
Yeah, there's so many bad players though in that game, but everyone says that. Everyone says that. Like everyone always says, it's same on any sort of team-based ranked game, where you can solo queue. Everyone always says, "Oh, I'm always getting matched with bad players," and everyone says it, including the bad players. So it's hard to know who's actually good and who's not. But I'm good. I promise, I'm good. Well, I'm not so good now. I've had ages off. But yeah, it's quite funny because if you think about it, the bad players are gonna think the good players are bad because they don't get what they're doing. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they'd do it and be good. So it's at least you're playing a game where it's you can't get pissed off at other people. You're playing a game where it's all luck based instead.
Yeah. Oh no, I can get pissed off at other people. There's yeah, there's a lot of decks right now where I just think if you play this, you do deserve to be chemically castrated.
Well,
Like,
I used to think that when playing Hearthstone, but then I thought, well, I'll play it then. The only way to, if you can't beat them, join them type of thing, the only way to sort of get around it is you play the bullshit decks as well.
I don't want to though. I don't because then it's just not fun for me. I don't know. I don't find it fun. Like there's a priest one which is just it's just not fun. It's just like you win and then you're not having fun. So
I don't know. It's
my deck's very. I'm lucky with this deck because it's fun because it's based a lot of it goes off like weapon damage, so it's your hero that does a lot of the attacking. So you feel, I don't know, weirdly you feel a lot more involved in the game because you feel like you're doing shit.
Yeah.
But and it's quite good as well. It's winning me a fair amount of games, but there's just some decks out there where they're just too broken and everybody plays them and because they're broken obviously, and it's just annoying, but whatever. I've not broken anything yet, so
yet. I have to say the best thing Hearthstone ever did for me playing that game was adding single player modes, because I just enjoyed those so much more.
Yeah.
They were just so much better, and Apex kind of teased that they were going to do that, and they did in a way, but it was so shit. It was so bad. It was like you got to do a new one once every week, and it were these like 5-10 minute long sort of little sort of mini side mission things, and there wasn't really any point to it, and it was kind of just finding out new little bits, and that was it. But I don't know, I just wish they'd have done like a PvE mode or something, like, I don't know, something similar to Call of Duty Zombies. I'm sure they could have recreated that, but for Apex. But they just kind of haven't. And it's a reoccurring theme I found with Apex is they just, it's almost like they hear what everyone wants, like an almost unanimous census for the game, and purposely say like, oh, we hear exactly what you want, fans, so fuck you, we're not doing it. It's almost like they avoid it on purpose. I don't know, until recently, I mean, they've added crossplay, which is something people have wanted. I don't really care about crossplay. If you want to play with your friends, you're probably going to have the console they've got, because you want to play all the other games with your friends anyway. So, I don't care about crossplay at all. I don't know if is it coming to the Switch? Has it come to the Switch yet?
I've not heard anything about it being on Switch. I saw the crossplay thing.
I think it was supposed to come to the Switch. Apex Legends has been rated for Switch. What does this mean? 9 hours ago. Has been rated for Switch. Back in June, they announced, at the time no release date was given. They've announced it. I don't think it's come yet. But I don't know, if it came out for the Switch, that might be interesting with crossplay. I don't know. It's just weird. Crossplay. Don't really care. The biggest one has been They been asking for solos so long, and they've just been like, no, that would be bad for the game.
Just not listening at all.
Anyway, Tessoteric's asking how we're doing. Long time, been a while. Tesso, how are you doing? How are you doing, Judd?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Judd always pretends that he's all right. In reality, he's not. He thinks he is as well, but he's too stupid to realise that he's not.
Danke schön.
Has your German been going well?
Has been going well. I think I'm in Sapphire League right now.
Ah.
So.
Okay,
yeah.
well, that's all the talking points we've got. Right, bye.